friend only really cares about themselves. Where are they going to be if you ever get sick and you can't manage to work anymore and all your money is going to your medical bills? Will they still be there for you, by your side, helping you get through? Or will the truth hit you that a good amount of the people who call themselves friends in the world aren't friends at all, and that to have a lot of friends is not really something to brag about? In many cases, what you're saying is that you have a lot of people in your life who leech off you, who like to exploit their relationship with you, who feed off you, who try to drain you, people who are using you so long as it is convenient to themselves. So if you can be strong, stand by yourself, and still succeed, well, even if that person has 0 friends, they're probably better off than a person who has 100 friends. I mean, I have my wife, my whole family, and a few people who call themselves my friends. So how could I not be happy? Truth is, my biggest mistake in most every relationship I've had is I sell myself short. I almost never ask what my friend is putting into something and just assume I'm taking the bill for everything. I would often do it with a smile over and over again. Those people were not my friends. They were just in my life because I was the idiot who was willing to pay for shit. You may know I've gone through a breakup as of late. It's a pretty intensely complex situation, but I shared the full details with you guys on Onision Speaks, and oh boy did you have a lot to say. One person says, wow, good for you sticking up for Lainey. You did the right thing, Greg. Yeah, actually a lot of people told me to leave Lainey for Billy, and that's not really a smart option. You see, this beautiful girl and I have a vast history. And because our history is so deep and awesome, and also because of the fact that she's almost always been a good person to me, it's more difficult to look at her and just say, F off, I'm going with this new chick. Instead, time and time again, I wound up standing by Lainey in the end, because for me, there's no real permanent giving up on Lainey. There's someone responding to us requesting that Billy get a tattoo. It would have been a picture of a lily with the word Lily underneath, which is Billy and Lainey's ship name. And that was to compensate for the fact that Billy had repeatedly lied to Lainey's face, where she told Lainey she wouldn't do something, and immediately went and did that thing right after she told her that she would not. Obviously, after you lie to a person so many times, saying you won't do it anymore isn't good enough. And if you want to save the relationship, what else can you do other than what was suggested? I once tattooed my wrist so someone would trust me again. And I still don't regret those tattoos, because to me they symbolize how dedicated I can be to people, how strong my love can be. And that's not really something to be ashamed of. This person goes on to say that at this point the relationship has become way too toxic. Relationships require trust and proper communication. They say tattoos do not cut it. Sounds like you don't have any solutions and all you have is problems. You may not agree with tattoos as a solution, but what are you supposed to do when words aren't good enough anymore? You have to replace words with action and proving in flesh that you're dedicated to something. It goes a whole lot further than words ever will. Here's, I guess, someone offering to be our new girlfriend. That's basically the story of Lainey's day. People have been hitting Lainey up like crazy since I released that video on Speaks. But here's the problem. You don't just get over someone that you love. It's really difficult to just say, oh, this person lied to us repeatedly, and they did some other pretty crazy stuff, so I'm just magically over them. That's not how love works. It freaking sucks, really. And Lainey and I said we love this person. It was genuine. It was beautiful. And even if that person is significantly flawed, that doesn't mean we're just gonna leave them for dead. So we fight and we fight and we try and hope there's some kind of solution possible. There's someone saying this relationship is really twisted. They hope we all get some therapy. They say my wife has some major issues. I like how people are going after my wife, or even target me, completely ignoring what Billy did. Her response to Lainey being upset at her for doing the less than honest thing that she did was to go out to the woods and hit trees with a club shortly after spelling FU out in pumpkins and surrounding that FU with a literal slipknot noose. Can you imagine how many of you would refuse to not point this out if instead of her doing those things, it was actually me? What if I were the one who went into the woods and clubbed a bunch of trees and then spelled FU out in pumpkins and surrounded it in a noose? You guys would be losing your minds. Or what if I did something else she did? Like, what if I was a liar who looked my wife in the face and clearly told her I would not do something incredibly specific only to do it moments later? You guys would not let me hear the end of it. If you guys found out that I was the person who was constantly talking about wanting to kill myself, actively saying this recently, you would no doubt call the cops on me and have me committed. But if someone other than Laney-bot or Onision says these things, well, they must be totally sane and rational. And of course, Lainey and Onision are the bad guys. Anyway, again, none of this is to imply that we don't care about Billy. We absolutely do. My wife and I have felt like absolute crap for the past few days regarding her because we want to repair things with her, but we don't know how we could ever trust her again, considering she's lied to our faces not once, not twice, not 3 times, more than that. So what are we, a couple of people who are honest with each other 99% of the time, if not more, supposed to do about this girl who says she cares about us, but whose actions do not match her words? Well, it's like I said, you guys can state all the problems, but you don't have solutions. And that is why I suggested the tattoos, because at least if she lied to us again, she would have at least sacrificed something to pay for that lie. But of course, she is not me, and obviously she does not love like I do. She does not want to get tattoos that symbolize how dedicated she is. And I just want to end on this note. You guys can criticize our relationship. You can act like your mentality is better than ours. But Lainey is bisexual and she has bisexual desires. And I have something in my brain that doesn't make me even remotely jealous of her being with a woman, especially if it points to a balanced trinity. So she and I would be fools to conform to societal standards and expectations if it meant ignoring our desires. We aspire to make our own paths regardless of what people think of us. And that's just part of what makes makes my wife a bomb-ass person. And it's also why, as of November 14th, we will have been married 4 years. Which I don't know, is kind of freaking awesome. Long story short, do your best to be you. And of course, remember love.
We are not robots. We are not slaves. We are Banana Nation.
Hot First Not Onision Subscriber Edition. This should be awkward. This girl wants to know if she's hot. I do not think she's hot.
Yep, no. This isn't going anywhere. This is fucked. Bye. I just want friends.
Seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Facility online.
The battle begins.
We must not delay. Without hesitation. The way is clear. I thank you for the
The beacons are energizing. You have to control them. The beacons have activated. Control them. Please let this work.
Now I see. Now I see. I must leave, but I will return again.
Excellent. The enemy will have to deal with a much larger wave of Zerg than we will.
Fort destroyed.
circumstances to avoid this sort of thing.
Hero slain.
Excellent. Spirits guide us. I go.
Kill confirmed.
We should recruit the mercenaries.
Enemy hero terminated.
Find your peace.
Beacons are recharging, and the Zerg are growing agitated.
I go.
There! The beacons! Capture them!
should recruit these mercenaries.
Of course. The spirits whisper agreement. Rise the Ultra. Defend this. Blessings upon you, healer.
The beacons are energizing.
Of course.
Me.
Hero slain.